Today we're applying order to chaos and turning disaster into opportunity. I'm going to show you how. Merry Meet Friends, welcome or welcome back. My name is Lynette and this is 13 Moons Homestead. Today we are in the garden, and if you have been watching, you know we recently had an ice storm here in Oregon. Our trees here, they get very, very big, but they're shallow rooted because we get so much rain. They don't need to reach down to get water, and so when we have things like ice storms, lots of trees come down. We have lots of damage on our homestead, and I made a video about that, which I will link here. I'm not sure which side it's on. So you can go back and see that. We were very fortunate. We don't have damage to our home, our cars, or our people. But the garden is full of debris and it's almost gardening season. So we're outside today and we're getting some of the cleanup done to get prepared for some of the early spring projects.
There's a new day that will come again tomorrow. There's a new day to wash away the pain. There's a new day to take away your sorrow, and the old ways get washed out by the rain.
So we are getting some of the branches and debris cleaned up at the back of the garden right now, because one of the early projects that we're going to do requires us to bring a load of gravel up here on our little kind of access driveway, and we don't want to be popping the tires on our truck. So we're getting it cleaned up enough at the back that we can get the truck in here. With all of the trees and branches that are down, we have a couple of opportunities here. In the Pacific Northwest, one of the resources that we have, especially on our land, is wood. It's trees. There's so many here, and now a lot of them are on the ground, and we have to do something with them. We can't just leave them lay all over the place here. So there's opportunities here for branches to turn into wood chips, and which we need in the garden and in composting and in animal bedding. And some larger branches can be used for building things like compost bins and animal shelters. And some of the trees that are down are appropriately sized that if we cut them the right lengths, we can use them for gate posts or fencing posts. So that's a huge opportunity for us. We would not have cut down healthy living trees to do that. We probably would have bought stock at the store, fence posts and stuff already made at the store. But lumber is really expensive right now, and here we have this resource just laying around on the ground. So we're going to do the best that we can to make use of as much of this as we possibly can around the homestead.
There's a new day to leave behind your troubles. There's a new day, and it will say.
The second way that we have a really great opportunity here is that in our woods here in the Pacific Northwest, we have a lot of lichens and mosses and just bark and all kinds of things that can be used medicinally and also as dye stuffs. So for me as an indie dyer, I dye yarn and wool. Usually I use commercial acid dyes because they're far easier to use. But since we've moved out here onto the homestead, I've been starting to learn a little bit and be interested in natural dyeing because I just have so much resource here. Now that we have this opportunity here with so many branches and trees laying on the ground, that's the perfect time to forage around and stock up on some of those lichens and such that they won't live now that their host won't live anymore. Generally, you don't want to take them off of living trees because some of those lichens in particular, they grow like a millimeter a year. A little piece might be you know, 100 years old or something, so you don't want to take them living. So I definitely want to gather as much as I can. We do actually have a lot of mosses and lichens and barks and stuff, oak galls and acorns and things that fall to the ground naturally anyway. So I'm never really in short supply, but this, I can actually build up quite a large supply right now, and I'm taking it all off of stuff that is going to die anyway.
There's a new day to get you through your struggles. I will always think of you and me.
So I try usually in life as much as I can to find the bright side of just about any situation. And you know, going through that ice storm and going through the smoke and stuff from the wildfires earlier this year, it was horrible. And being shut in so long for the pandemic, also, you know, not a lot of fun. But so many wonderful things have come out of this time. Like last year was my first year with a full garden. It was my first year with chickens, and those were fantastic experiences for me, and they've changed how I'm going to move forward in my life. I will probably always, as long as I am capable, have a garden and chickens at the very least. I was planning already before the pandemic hit to do these things, but I think it gave me the kick in the butt that I really needed. And then like with this ice storm, it's so easy to just let yourself wallow in those negative feelings, and you gotta reframe it. You gotta look past it. You gotta find where the positives are. They might be really small, but they're super important. I'm really, really looking forward to getting cleaned up in the garden and getting all the beds prepped and ready for planting, and getting the greenhouse cleaned up and getting my hands in the dirt, getting seeds planted and started. And getting our food going for this year. We have so much cleanup to do, and it's going to take a lot of our time. And we have lots of fundamentals that we need to put in place that I discussed in the last video. But the garden is still going to be a priority no matter what. I might not be able to expand it the way I wanted to, but this year is already going to be an expansion all on its own, because this year I already have my beds in place before spring. Last year I didn't have them ready in time for that, so I only got the summer crop. And then because of the smoke, I wasn't able to start things at the right times to do a fall crop. So this year, hopefully, we'll be able to get a spring, summer, and fall crop out of this garden. So that's already going to be a huge improvement over last year, if I can make it work. This is only my second full year of gardening, and I still have a ton to learn. If you want to see what all of this cleanup is going to lead to, the projects that we have coming up next, and what I'm going to do with some of these dye stuffs that I've collected, you're going to want to hit that subscribe button down below and ring the notification bell. You'll be notified as soon as I publish the very next video. And you might like these videos right over here. Blessed be, friends. We'll see you on the next video.